Howdy y'all, Banjo Dan here with another installment of the Eclectic Banjo. Today I'll be giving an introduction to single string technique on the 5-string fingerstyle banjo, as well as showcasing my attempt at playing Flight of the Bumblebee, in which I've overlaid the tab for it as I play. If you play clawhammer or plectrum style banjo, or feel like you've already have a good grasp on the single string technique, fly on ahead to Flight of the Bumblebee. Did you see what I did there? Otherwise, let's dive right in. Definition. Single string technique, as it pertains to picking the banjo with fingertips or picks, is a way to play certain note sequences in which 2 or more picking fingers are used to play at least 2 consecutive notes from a single string. Examples could include going from 2nd string 1st fret C to 2nd string open B, playing 1st string 5th fret G down to 1st string 2nd fret E, playing a G major mode beginning at open D on the 4th string. Single string technique really shines when playing full or partial scales within a piece, which occur frequently in melodic style bluegrass songs as well as Celtic and classical pieces, or when you have a bunch of notes that are half steps or 1 semitone apart from each other, such as in Flight of the Bumblebee. Before I dive into picking patterns, let me say one thing about string crossovers. In the ideal situation, moving up from the 1st string to the 2nd, or the 2nd string to the 3rd during a picking pattern, the thumb should lead the note rises. As an example, going from 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string, 4th string. The thumb rises to each subsequent string. Any picking pattern needs to keep this in mind because things become awkward when the bottom finger needs to rise to the next string up. Picking patterns. If you're familiar with banjo tab, then you know that picking hand fingering is often abbreviated by the first letter of each picking finger. Your thumb, abbreviated with the letter T, your index finger, abbreviated with the letter I, and your middle finger, abbreviated with the letter M. When faced with a series of 8 single string conducive 8th or 16th notes in a measure, single string picking patterns generally fall into 3 main categories. The opening measure to Flight of the Bumblebee has an excellent string of notes conducive to a thumb index picking pattern. I performed most of this piece using thumb index. This pattern is the easiest to learn and is the easiest to keep going in terms of crossing over strings. A few measures down brings us a nice example of thumb index thumb middle picking, since there are 2 4-note groupings on the 3rd string and then jumping up to the 4th string. Thumb index thumb middle, TITM, offers relief to the index finger by enabling the middle to share the load on the upstrokes. Flight of the Bumblebee, for all intents and purposes, is a marathon of single string technique, which is why I think thumb index middle, thumb index middle, thumb index would be best where able. It offers the greatest relief and arguably the shortest lead time for subsequent string strokes. Try saying that 3 times fast. Since 3/4 of its picking pattern contains a 3-finger rotation from thumb to index to middle. Furthermore, one can adjust this type of picking pattern as needed depending on the needs of the measure, such as going to thumb, index, middle, or thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle. Each pattern has its pros and cons. One certainly isn't restricted to using just one picking pattern over another throughout a song, and sometimes it might be necessary to jump in and out of single string technique based on playability needs. Well, that about wraps up my introduction to single string technique on the 5-string fingerstyle banjo. What are your thoughts? Do you play an alternate picking pattern, or would you like me to talk more about something specifically? Feel free to leave a comment down below, and if you thought my video was helpful, I'd certainly appreciate a like and a subscribe. Be sure to stick around for my run-through of Flight of the Bumblebee, but then we'll see you next time right here at the Eclectic Banjo.